Is that completely unfair? I mean, honestly, the guy never even saw it coming. Either way, I promise you guys to do this. Here is the Nord tutorial and the Super Mystere tutorial to go with it. Before we go too far, I just want to make sure you guys know that this is the AA Nord, not the AS Nord. The AA is the air-to-air missile. Traveling at 563 meters a second, it's actually really not that fast. So it takes a lot of time, and you got to be careful, and I'll go into that a little bit deeper here. But one thing you really have to pay attention to is the control settings. In the search, type in the aim and look for the yaw axis for aim weapons and pitch axis for aim weapons. Go ahead and open those up, and you're going to be looking for something called relative control. Normally it's going to be on, you need to make sure it's off. So go ahead and check that, then go to the pitch and do the same thing, make sure that relative control is off. And that is the biggest thing that will help you aim these missiles. I don't know if you noticed in there, and I honestly do not remember if these are the stock settings or not, but I use Alt plus the WASD keys. Now these are the same keys that I use to control my airplane, so my pitch and my roll axis. And I would kind of recommend the same thing for you guys. You know, pick whatever you use to control your plane and just add a key like Alt to switch it over. It'd be easy to find it again. So a couple quick things you guys need to know about the Nords. They are very slow, we went over that. They are also proximity fused, so they only need to be within roughly 15 meters or maybe 50 feet. That gives you a pretty wide range for error. And I'll tell you what, just look at this, you can see that even on this one, like, I missed this guy. I honestly kind of surprised it hit him. But look, it was really, really far off, really a bit to the left there, but it still hit him. Like I say, the proximity fuse, it might be a little overkill, but it definitely works. So, assuming you've been playing this game for a while, you probably know how to aim in general right now. You know how to aim guns. So this is how I aim Nords. I draw a line in front of the aircraft, and I put the Nord right on the nose of the aircraft in whatever direction it's flying. If it's flying directly at me, then I put it directly on the aircraft, but I try to put it just in front. TU-4, nice, easy target from a long distance. I suggest you try bombers, especially TU-4s. TU-4 pilots, you're going to hate me, I'm sorry, but that's as simple as it is. So here's another setup, another TU-4 I'm eyeballing. I'm looking around me, make sure that Super Mystere is pretty preoccupied, so I should be pretty safe when I go into the Nord. So all we're doing is we're following that shiny tail, the Nord. That's the back side of it, and we're just going to keep aiming it up there. We don't care about that red circle. Putting it up on the nose of his aircraft, and he is gone. That's all it is, just following the nose of the aircraft. Does it make sense, guys? I hope it's enough. That's really all it is for me. So let's talk about the aircraft and the gameplay. Alright, so being a 9.0, you do get down tiers in this aircraft, and you should have no issues handling the 8.0 or even some of the 9.0 aircraft, because you are actually quite a bit faster than those guys are. Now, you obviously do not maintain the energy, but we'll go into that a little bit deeper later. But this is a typical down tier match for me. I don't really spend too much time climbing because nothing's gonna really catch me. Now, every match like this, there's always 1, 2, maybe 3 Valtours diving towards these little bases. Now, I fly over the bases and I watch the Valtours and I'm looking at them coming at me. And whenever they get to about 10 kilometers where they actually light up and they're not that shadow. So, chasing that dot right there, I know he's close. You can barely see him. If you can't see dots, guys, I apologize because this may change your gameplay. But I'm putting that Nord out there and I accidentally kind of swung that a little bit wide. So we missed that Nord. No biggie, we're going to continue on. This Valtour, he kind of gets a little scared and breaks off in the head-on, and he is gone. So there's 1 kill. Alright, Valtour is not a big deal, honestly. Sorry, guys, but 1 plane down. We're going to continue on. We're going to start grabbing a little bit of altitude since we got the speed. See a MiG-17 coming at me. This guy is probably one of the smarter pilots I've seen in a while. He decides he wants nothing to do with a head-on a Super Mystere. Really smart. Really smart. But I can't say the same for the next guy. Now, this is what I talk about with this aircraft being, the Nords being slow. If you launch missiles inside 3 kilometers, look at how much room he has. That thing hit him inside 1,000 meters. He could have hit me if I wasn't careful. So in a head-on, he could have still killed me. And so I recommend do not shoot the Nords inside 3 kilometers on a head-on aircraft. So the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys on this aircraft, though, is for sure, keep your speed. I'd say at least 900 kilometers an hour, or maybe 560 miles per hour if you're using that, and I'll even give it 480 knots if you're using that conversion. But try to keep your speed as hard as you can. Now, this aircraft does turn really good, but it does bleed an exceptional amount of energy, so you have to be careful. Now, this is pretty much a 9-0 match, and lately I've been getting a lot of these, so I think this is a fair call. Keeping my speed up. This thing actually climbs really good. We're going to try and grab the MiG-15 pilot that's not really paying attention, but at this speed we compress, no big deal. We're going to continue on, but I'm going to convert my airspeed into some altitude, and that will give me a little bit of energy stored up for later on. Now, I still got 2 Nords in this match. It started. Unfortunately, this match becomes a little bit more tough, but you'll see just how much destruction this aircraft can give very quick. Our team unfortunately crumbles, and at this point I'm chasing a dot up here. I don't know what this guy is yet, but I'm pulling straight up into him. I got a decent amount of energy. I've got Nords if I need them, and it's another Super Mystere. Managed to catch him off guard. So, try and put a shot in, but the rudder is very difficult on this aircraft, so don't expect to land every shot. But I decided to chase him down. Off the left side, I see a hunter coming, so I just kind of do a little bit of dodge and a dive and a slight turn. I'm going to start picking up some speed. I want to go down and pick the speed up as fast as I can. Hunter isn't following me, so I come back to the deck, get out of the clouds, so that I can see my enemies for now. By the time I get back down to the deck, I'll be doing well over 1,000 kilometers an hour again. This aircraft, like I say, is faster than any 9.0 currently. Compression starts kicking in. We'll pull out nice and easy, and we'll just keep our speed up. I see at this point I've got the hunter following me. Things are going to start getting pretty hairy. Most of my team just died. It's just myself and my squad mates, and I know that I am, unfortunately at this point, probably not going to outclimb that hunter, and I don't have quite enough energy built up to outrun him. At the same time, I've got another Super Mystere that I definitely can't outrun. So I do a subtle turn. I'm going to try and keep my speed up. That's going to make these guys bleed energy, and I'm going to go Hail Mary on the Super Mystere. Boom, and he is gone. Nords work great on a head-on. You don't even have to guide him if you shoot him like you were going to do a gun. MiG-15 on my buddy right here. Fire the Nord off, don't even need to aim it. Boom, gone. Dodge the A5, no problem. Keep my speed up as best as I can. Try and get a head-on real quick. No turning. All these guys are going to come in behind me, but they do not have my speed right now because they just turned. So, get back up to 1,000, and I start a subtle climb. So I just took out 2 of their team, and the rest of these guys are furballing pretty hard, so I know they're not going to have a ton of speed. I just want to make sure there's nobody above me that could come down and sneak up on me. This hunter, he still wants a piece of me, so we're going to keep our eye on him. If I start climbing, he does have the potential to catch me. So as we go into this, I'm just making the ever so subtle taps on the keyboard just the ever so subtle movements to try and maintain my speed. Just keep an eye on him, and he starts pulling up, and that's my opportunity. He's giving me enough room to dive back down, so he is no longer going to catch me. My on-the-deck speed is much better than his. No threat anymore. Alright, so now we got a couple more head-ons to get through. Got an A5, I got no more Nords, so boom. See if we get him. Nothing. Mystere, gone. Another F-Series, gone. Aidens, or Defas in this case, they work extremely well in the head-on. So now we've taken out most of the team. There's an A5 and a hunter left. The A5 is about to die, and now he's gone. Take a pass on the hunter, we miss him, but he's now the last one left. So I'm not going to drag out this match anymore, guys. I think you understand it's definitely a head-on machine. So what happens when you face a supersonic match? I'll tell you what, the tricks are always the same. The more altitude you can get in this aircraft, the merrier. This plane actually performs really well up at altitude 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 meters. It does very well. Its maneuverability really pays off, and at the same time, if you need it, you have the altitude to turn back into energy if you lose it. So, Mart here, he's not paying attention, and we go ahead and we get him with a Nord. No big deal. Now we got a lot of F-100s. So you notice I'm still in a slight climb right here. I wanna keep my speed as best as I can. I'll try and grab a little bit of altitude while I'm doing this, because I know that every little turn I make, if I get aggressive and I'm trying to aim, I'm gonna bleed a lot of speed, and you'll see it right here. So I'm trying to stay well above 900. I'm doing 0.85, which is great. I see this F100 coming in on my left. I know he's gonna be an issue if I start making a pass on these guys. I'm very cautious. I don't want to bleed a ton of speed. I start making a pass, and I say screw it. I want to make sure, see if I can get Comrade go here, this F100. We switch to him, and you see, just from those subtle turns, I already bled 100 kilometers an hour. But no biggie. We fire off Nord. I'm just going to try and stay straight. I'm going to stay off the rudder. I'm not going to hit the elevator too hard. Subtle movements as best as I can. And we're going to sneak up on this F100. Try and help my buddy out here. F100 is now crit and flat spinning, so he is no longer a threat. And here's the problem. So I got a little bit slow, and here comes this baby shark for you, dude. Another F100. And don't get me wrong, guys. The Super Mystere can take a dunk on the F100. But check this out. This is where it really becomes an issue. That thing bled so much speed, and I'm not going to be able to out-accelerate him. So now I have to fight him. I am committed to this fight. So I actually have to hit my air brake a little bit, which is really a no-no in this plane, just to kind of assure myself an overshot. He pulls back into my guns. I maneuver better than he does at slow speeds. Shouldn't be a threat, but here's the problem. Now I'm super slow. Nothing I can do. Here comes an F100. Shoots my wing off. But hey, on the bright side, I'm not dead. I actually took this plane back and I landed it. I don't know, I think that's kind of broken right now. Say we get off the deck and we get up to high altitude. So here we are, 7,500, maybe 8,000 meters. We're pretty high. This thing actually is supersonic up here. It can go quite fast if it needed to. This is Boulogne sur Mer. I've been having quite a few of these maps. I got a chance to face a MiG-19S or two as well up here. And I tell you what, I had a lot of fun on this match. This plane is actually really, really fun up here. Now, again, it still bleeds energy, but it's not nearly as bad because, I mean, 500, 600 kilometers an hour is 0.8 Mach, so it doesn't take much. Now, these guys are clearly going to pull away from me, but I know there's another one up here. Here he is. It's Dapple. Sorry, buddy, you're getting used for this one, but check this out. So I'm only doing 500 kilometers an hour, but I have a lot of maneuverability right now. I can easily dodge him. And because this aircraft does not pick up a lot of speed, because it's almost like it's got an air brake out, he easily overshoots me in this dive. And now he's toast. And that's flying against supersonics up at altitude. It's great. This plane is so much fun up here. You just keep your speed up. You don't bleed nearly as much. Look at how easily I'm keeping a decent speed here. It's still 0.81 Mach. You know, it's indicated it's going to look a lot slower than I actually am. I'm bleeding a little speed here, and I realize it's probably not a good idea to get busy with him because I know there's another guy coming in behind him, so I just drop my nose. Drop my nose, grab my speed, extend away. And he's not going to be able to keep, well, I mean, he can keep up with me, but he's not dropping his nose soon enough, so I'm going to go down to the deck, pick up a little bit of speed, get it up to like 0.85 Mach, and we'll start climbing back up here in a sec. Maps like Afghanistan, this plane actually does pretty good on. It's enjoyable. But, like I said, you have to pick and choose your targets. You have to actually play kind of passive just because, like, you can handle a lot of aircraft in this game in a one-on-one. You're going to be very good at the one-on-ones. But when you get multiple enemies on you, there's not much you're going to be able to do. So, in this case, I'm dragging this guy out a little bit, and I think he loses interest in me, so I pull back down behind him. And he makes a poor decision. He probably doesn't even see me right now. So I pull in behind him. I don't really know what the distance is, so I don't shoot yet. He finally lights up. It's 1.14. That is completely within range of a Nord. We fire a Nord off at him. Put it directly in front of his path of travel, and we manage to pop him. Now, Nords will give you kind of crit hits on the tail every once in a while, but I promise you that guy is done. He's not going to be able to fly. And there's his flat spin. So, even if it says crit, they're still dead, guys. We pull up, try and get a pass on the F100. And actually managed to miss that one, but There's a lot of Supersonics in this match. It gets drawn out a little bit, so I'm not going to narrate too much. It really came down to actually having a team this time. Brought a squad with me, so they definitely help as the Super Mystere. Like I say, it can handle itself in a one-on-one, but it cannot handle the whole team. So for that reason, I would designate it a support plane. But like I say, if you take out the Nords and you get good with them, they're an easy couple kills. You get good in the head-on, there's an easy couple more kills. You can turn the numbers in a Jet game real quick, and that's all she wrote. Because I mean that's the logic behind Jet games, is if you can knock people down quick, you swing the numbers in your favor. That means that your enemies are going to become overwhelmed, and they won't be able to handle that many fighters on them at once. So, like I say, this plane is very good at swinging the numbers, and I highly encourage you guys to learn the Nords. Go take them into a custom battle. Custom battle is the best place to play around with the Nords. Anyways, I've kept you guys long enough. I appreciate you if you're watching this far. Like I say, this is a difficult aircraft, but it's a lot better than people give it credit for. There are some subtle changes that definitely... I haven't had any issues ripping, none of that stuff. It's a lot better plane now. So, take it out, guys. Have fun with it. We'll see you around. Thanks for stopping by.